Hey, what's up, guys? SoCal Regionals has finally concluded with Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. So we have a pretty good idea on the meta of this game, I guess. I'm joined here with Mir. What's up, Mir?
Hey,
We're gonna do just a quick topic video. Basically, the topic is what is the current meta of Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, and should we be worried already? Because there's a lot of people that are pretty worried about this. So I'll try to describe the meta the best I can, Mir. Let's say you didn't play Marvel and watch the madness that was SCR. But anyways, a lot of frantic switching. Okay, so there is constant switching between both characters non-stop in the game. Which I thought would be like really dangerous to do because you get blown up by happy birthdays and stuff, but we'll talk about that in a bit here. But obviously, because of this switching meta, some characters will benefit more than others, right? So first off, a lot of moves in this game are made safe because of this switching. A lot of moves that are like when they first started in Marvel 3, they were supposed to be unsafe, you know? So like we'll have like, you know, Spencer doing his overhead and switching, right? Or Dante doing his jet stream and just running across the stream, going into Twister and all that and making it safe. And then you know, the whole thing is about locking the opponent's character down with some really long hit stun move, and then switch it to your other character and either setting something up like really crazy, like Dormammu with all of his charges, and like setting up the Rose Garden, or basically just having a full 2 or 3 seconds straight of triangle jumping and opening your opponent up, which is really crazy, man. Like really scary. And like just because everything just combos in this game is just OTG crazy, it's really easy to like get into this situation where you kind of have your opponent in this little mini vortex of constantly having to block for a long period of time. Would you agree with that, Mir?
well, yeah, definitely. Like, especially certain teams that have like a lot of combo filler opportunities can convert off of a lot of things, even if they get like a stray hit
Yeah.
when they're mix up. For example, Dormammu has like a lot of multi-hitting moves that allow your tag partner to come in and then continue the combo. And as we saw, Ultron has a lot of mobility, a lot of opportunities to open you up while someone else is locking you down.
And Ultron's
And
like made for the game, right? Like he's first in this game, so
definitely.
obviously his move list backs it up, you know.
And he's the only like character with assists in a sense because they're built into his move list.
Yeah. There's also a lot of stalling too. You know, you and me were talking about this too, and especially in the form of like Reality Stone, where like the players don't really want to play neutral in this. It's more like they're just kind of wasting time so they can set up whatever they're trying to set up, and just yeah, like I said with Dante for example, just using the random jet stream where it's just supposed to be unsafe and then you switch to it. It's really funny, man. But it's nice to see like some Ghost Rider too, you know, set things up in like full screen away.
Well, we saw characters like Spencer, for example, using the Reality Stone to complement the zipline so that they can stay in the air for quite a long time and like prey on your mistakes. Because say they try to punish you while you're using the Reality Stone, and maybe their combo could drop just because they get hit by the homing projectile, and then you're basically safe. So you can kind of abuse this, like you can try to stall the neutral to prey on their mistakes, like
Like I mean, like you switch to your character, whatever they're saying. Say your secondary was like Hagar or something. Like you use like kind of a weaker character on point, and then whatever you try to do, open them up or setting something up, and it fails, and then your character's kind of stuck there for a little bit because you can't just switch raw. You know, so the Reality Stone is just perfect for that, where you could just jump up with whatever characters, Nemesis, Hagar, Hulk, or whatever, and you could just randomly use Reality Stone in the air, and you could use that to tag, and your opponent could come in, or your other character comes in with Reality Stone. So like, it just kind of like that whole stalling thing going on right now too in neutral, you know.
Yeah, and another example of that could be the Soul Stone, which kind of like erases your mistakes in a sense, because if you lose a character early in this game, it's a really big loss just because of how the tagging is so important. But the Soul Stone allows you to get it back and maybe even push a mix-up. We saw certain teams like Strider, Gamora, where they can both use the install during the Soul Stone and just abuse that kind of pressure.
Yeah,
So,
you lose like half your mechanics if your character dies. Like you can't counter switch, right? And you can't do all your setups. There's a lot of mechanics that involve needing both your characters, right?
yeah.
So let's move on to the second part of this topic, which is, should we be worried? Do we need an emergency patch already, guys? 1 week later, you know? Well, for one reason we could be worried is like there's just no really big diversity, especially on the keep away side, like trap teams, zoning teams. The diversity in characters doesn't seem to be too much. Who didn't we see in SCR Mirror? We didn't see Ryu. We didn't see Chris.
Firebrand. We didn't see.
I think Firebrand's good though. I think Firebrand's good. Like we'll see what the European scene does, but anyways, like what I mean is diversities in teams, okay? Because of this meta. So for example, if you're using Dante, it's like why not use Dormammu? You know what I mean? It's just Dormammu works so well with Dante that it's just like you're almost forced to use Dormammu with him. And remember, when they were talking about taking away the assists in the game, the goal of that was to make sure that people didn't feel forced to use certain characters. So in Marvel 2, you were forced to use Psylocke or Captain Commando to cover you, right? Or in Marvel 3, whatever assist that they felt like a Doom missile assist, right? So there's, you know, or a Hagar assist, and it's like, we're kind of running into the same issue, it seems, if the whole meta is about keeping them stuck in block stun for a long time, or keeping them in hit stun for a long time, and setting up charges with Dormammu, for example, or opening up the character, you know, because like Ultron, Nova, these characters are really good at opening up if you're stuck.
Captain Marvel.
Yeah, Captain Marvel. You know, that's what seems to be the meta, and you know, optimistically, it's the easiest meta for the pros to figure out right now, you know, off the top of your head on how to play this game. So there's still a lot of time to dive into it.
But
So,
yeah, for sure. Especially because it's so strong on offense. It's kind of easy to autopilot it and practice your setups, basically, because maybe they're just stuck and they cannot do anything about it, right? So you can come up with a lot of dirty stuff.
yeah.
So yeah, definitely they should definitely look into like improving this diversity, especially when the stones were actually designed to add to the diversity instead of, you know, trying to limit it. And then yeah, for sure allow you to like counter this strategy a bit more.
And that's a good point you mentioned the stones, because it's supposed to make it so that Dante and Dormammu with one stone is supposed to make another Dante Dormammu play completely different. You know, it doesn't seem to be the case right now. So,
Yeah.
Especially when we obviously have like a kind of tier list already for the stones, but we'll talk about that in another video. But it seems to be the case. I mean, it all depends. Once again, if we can get some good trap teams, zoning teams, make keep away work, so it's not this whole rush down explosive meta, I think it'll be fine in the future. I mean, we've only seen one big major tournament, right? We got the weeklies going by, but right now that seems to be the starting meta of this game for sure. So it's cool to see the ideas that everyone has come up with, and it's cool to see some teams in SCR were really entertaining to watch. It was fun to watch Ghost Rider finally make it to a lot of teams. It was fun to see like you know, Nemesis. Even the I forgot who the guy who was using Hulk and Arthur was really entertaining. So we had some surprises.
There was a very funny match.
Yeah,
sure.
it was. So, one thing before we close out this video, Mir, we're reading. I'm not gonna give out names, but some pros were saying that the game was dishonest. We'll say, okay. And you know, when I think about it, when I'm watching it, I don't feel like there's too many matches that were robbed per se. It felt like every win was more earned, I guess, than Marvel 3, especially with the omission of X Factor. No X Factor in this game is so refreshing. Okay, even if you don't like the meta of this game right now, not seeing X Factor is so refreshing, man. I'm a huge X Factor hater. And the happy birthdays in this game barely do any damage. I mean, the scaling is really high. Did you notice that?
Yeah, especially on the outgoing character.
Yeah, because well, honestly, they kind of both go together if you think about it. Because in Marvel 3, if you land a happy birthday, usually you do X Factor to guarantee that you finish off both characters. you know.
Yes.
But in this game, you're missing the X factor, so you don't really see that huge burst in damage. So with that, it's just that comebacks feel more earned, and the Richard versus F-Champ fight was amazing, and that comeback felt truly earned. It didn't feel like he was robbed, and that's what we want to see. That's what we definitely want to see in the game. So
I think that when people say dishonest, they probably refer more to the fact that it's like kind of easy to put your opponent in a situation where they're forced to guess. But it's kind of like the engine of the versus games in a nutshell.
The nature of the series.
Yeah, exactly.
But there's a lot of unsafe moves that are made safe because of the switching. I agree.
Yeah, there's a lot of the defensive abilities of the players are going to improve with time. Like there's definitely a lot of setups that we still don't know about that you could easily be hit by, right? Like maybe some dirty setup that you have never practiced against. So time will definitely help with that and maybe make the game a little bit more honest in that sense. But there's still going to be the threat of a 50-50, right? Just because, like you said, it's the nature of the game.
Yeah.
So
do we need an emergency patch?
I personally think we should wait a bit more. Like it's very, very early.
I don't think they're gonna treat this game like Street Fighter 5 though, man. Like mid-season patches and stuff. I don't think they're gonna do that, really. I don't even know if they have the power to do that with regular Disney and stuff, with Marvel.
Yeah, but at this point, what we can expect is either patches every DLC, like every time a DLC character comes out, a small patch.
Yeah.
Or just a big patch when the first wave is over, and then go from there.
Yeah. I think the earliest we'll see a patch as of right now is after the Stones tournament concludes, after those 6 majors conclude. I don't think they'll release a patch in between that series right now. So yeah.
Yeah, that's a fair assumption for sure.
Well, guys, let me know what you think about the current meta of Marvel's Capcom Infinite. Do you guys like it better than Marvel's Capcom 3, or are you guys a little worried right now? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video, guys, and be sure to subscribe to the channel. Thanks again, Mir, for joining me, and hopefully my laptop doesn't explode from making this video. It's really ghetto right now. The computer is still under repair, guys, so wish me luck. Alright, take it easy.
See ya.